our special guest, Lee Kemp of world fame, not only in the high school, the college, the international world, but above all as a proficient ambassador for amateur wrestling at all of its various phases. And I'd like for you, Lee, to emphasize this MMA situation in regard to that California clinic, where it's going, how it's developing, and give us your thoughts on that.
Well, mixed martial arts is where our country's going. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's going there, and wrestlers are dominating it. It's the reason why they're dominating it is because we've always felt as wrestlers that wrestling was probably the best combative sport out there. Before the term MMA was created, there was always a question as to, who would win, a wrestler or a person in judo or a person that's doing kickboxing or whatever. So MMA is just the outgrowth of all that. The thing about it, though, it's providing an outlet for our athletes to make a little bit of money. Not that money is the be-all and end-all, but unfortunately, wrestling does not provide a professional avenue for our athletes. And MMA provides a place where some of our wrestlers could go and earn quite a bit of money. Like Dan Henderson is one of the top MMA fighters. Matt Hughes was one of the top MMA fighters. The top MMA fighters today are former wrestlers, most of them.
Coleman and Randleman out of Ohio.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They were in it early and did very well early.
Well, Coleman's 43, you're only 53, so we might have a place for you to exhibit your skills beyond redemption.
Well, if I was a younger man, I probably would have done it.
Wait. Your physique out there, and what Jim Humphrey told me, what you did to the youngsters training for the gold medals for the Olympic, he said you were more than handling your own with the boys. That's a tribute to your sagacity and your general physical conditioning.
I feel blessed to be able to get on the mat still, and it's a form. It makes me happy. It's something I enjoy doing. I learned about 3 years ago that I was going to get back into wrestling, and it provided me a way to give back something to the sport. I have a lot of knowledge about wrestling. It makes me feel good to know that I can give something back.
Very good. Now, you mentioned the fact that you're a vegetarian. How do you feel that integrated into your overall wrestling program?
I think becoming a vegetarian was an outgrowth of me just wanting to learn more about nutrition. And the reason why I didn't eat meat was because most of the meats we eat in our society are highly processed meats and with high fat concentrations, whether it's foods that are fried or meats that have a high concentration of fat. And a lot of our animals that we use for meat are not allowed to exercise. Like, I grew up on a farm, and our cows got to graze in the pasture and all that kind of stuff, and the meat had less fat, and it was a higher quality meat. A lot of the meat that's offered today for consumption are made just solely for consumption. The animals are not organic, I guess I can use that word.
So where do you get your profound physical fitness, and where's your dynamic food coming?
Well, I learned, in fact, I just finished reading a book recently called Eat Right for Your Type, and there's a doctor in that book who studied the 4 blood types, O, A, B, and I guess I'm probably missing one. But there are certain blood types that are more appropriate for meat eating and not meat eating, and it's just weird how it worked out that I'm a type A, and in his book, his research showed that type A people could live very well on a vegetarian diet.
You had further backing of what you already knew.
I already knew, and so that made me feel better. I always knew that as a wrestler, I wanted to find an edge, and I didn't come a vegetarian right away. It was more gradual. I realized that I did not need to eat as much meat as I was eating every day, and as I started to lower my consumption of calories because I was trying to make weight, I noticed that I could control my weight a little bit easier if I didn't eat the meat consumption. And I noticed that my digestive system worked faster and it was more efficient when I didn't eat meat. Meat is really hard for your body to digest, especially if it's cooked, and if it's overcooked like barbecuing, it's very difficult to digest. So I wanted my digestive system to work cleaner and faster, so I ate less meat. And then I just took it a step further. Once I got toward the end of my career, I felt that I just felt more efficient. I was leaner and I could make weight easier, and I didn't feel a substantial loss in strength because I got my protein through other sources. I still ate fish too, so I got my protein through other sources, through food combining like greens and legumes and beans, and tofu is a good protein source.
So all you vegetarians out there see a classic example of a man that knew how to take care of his physical needs via the food process. Now let's get back to your wrestling career. It was phenomenal. I happened to see you win the state high school meet in 73 and 74. Then you enunciated your fantastic college career with 3 NCAA and a very questionable 4th one. But the thing that really stands out in my mind is your fantastic presence in the wrestling freestyle world. I happen to be lucky. I think I was a good quality for you. I was there in San Diego State in 78 when you won your 78. Mexico City was 79.
Actually, Mexico City was 78 and San Diego was 79.
Okay, well, thanks for correcting me. Well, I happened to be there both times. And then we went up to Edmonton. On the basis it was only 1,200 miles. It was closer to 1,800 miles. Bobby Stoll drove his car. He's one of the local coaches here. And we saw you prevailed, and it was a very fantastic meet there. Dave Schultz went up to 180 and lost to a Polish guy 7-0, and then came back with a silver medal. Well, he finished 3rd in that tournament. That was fantastic. And you now, what in '81 you lost? Where at? Where was it?
It was in Yugoslavia, and I lost to the West German. No, it was yes, it was actually.
Okay, yeah, I thought. Well, that's the one I missed. So every one that I went, you won. So I was a good luck and didn't know it.
I wish you would have been there at that one.
Yeah. Well, anyway, who'd you lose to? A Bulgarian?
West German, Martin Knaps.
Oh,
and that's
choked him out. And where did he choke him out? And I was there in Kiev in 1983.
Okay.
And the FILA officials in '84 had spyglasses with Mario Salutnik with spyglasses to make sure Dave didn't hit his front check. But what fascinated me about that, you said you had 14 matches with Dave. You'd hit your patented single, and then it kind of were the wizard, and you'd have him midair, and you'd have to break. Did you ever figure out how to overcome that factor there, that you had so many stalemates off that your patented single there?
You know, Dave was hard to score on. And I think toward the end of my career with him, though, I still take him down, but he developed a turn that I couldn't figure out. He had a leg lace, and that's how he beat me to make the Olympic team. So, and I retired after that. But I think had I continued wrestling, it would have just been a continuation of what we talked about at the clinic today, is just learning how to learn and grow and do something specific to beat a specific opponent. And to beat Dave, I would have had to learn how to stop his leg lace.
Okay, now you never went to Tbilisi.
No. Well, I went 1 year.
You did? And
I got hurt right at the beginning of the tour, and I never wrestled in the tournament.
That's where Mills succeeded. He's the first time in the history of American wrestling that anybody went to Tbilisi and came through with a clean mark.
Gene Mills was awesome, and I was fortunate to be on a couple of world teams with him, World Cup teams, and he was inspirational. Gene would always say to me, Lee, I would never win like 6-5 or 3-2 or 1-0. It's going to be like 21-1 or 21-20 or something like that. It's going to be a high scoring event, and he's right. He created a lot of action, and he was the type of wrestler that was going to go 100%. And as with the rest of the team, we would thrive off of his energy.
Now, who was the little guy in '72 that won a silver medal out of Oregon?
What year? What year was?
'72 Olympics. He finished silver. He was the most unorthodox wrestler.
Oh, Rick Sanders? No.
Rick Sanders.
Yeah, Rick
You
Sanders.
hit him right on the head. In fact, I was over there at the '72 Olympics, and I got all of his clothes, and then he got wiped out in an accident in Skopje,
Yeah.
Yugoslavia. And the U.S. government, the U.S. Olympic Committee didn't spend 1 cent to get his body back.
Wow.
Oh, he was quite a rabble-rouser in his day. He was quite I love the guy. He was, you know what he used to do prior to a match? He'd drink a pint of what the heck, rum, well, not rum, what you call the stuff? Anyway, it would circulate his heart condition. I used to have to get his wine. He didn't care whether it was peach, cream, or anything else.
Wow.
But anyway, we had an affiliation with you, our Ohio Wrestling Club. As I said, we had Wayne Holmes and
Dave Range and a couple.
Yeah, Dave Range and Wojciechowski.
Yeah.
Took me 7 years to get Torio to release him out of it.
Really?
Yeah. So Wojo's not too good a shape. He had a heart attack and everything else. But your legendary status in wrestling is going to accumulate, and it's good to see you back in the fold. And hopefully you can get a basis upon which you can spread your gospel, because it takes a lot of hard work, and there's no substitute for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, and Lee, good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.